WWE goes out of business.
What? Let's talk about that.
The following announcement has been paid for by the New World Order.
It's still real to me, damn it!
Hello, everybody, and welcome to part 3 of Let's Talk About That. And we're going to talk about WWE goes out of business. The king of the mountain.
Doors.
The king of the mountain falls. What happens, Justin?
What happens as in how do they go out of business, or what
No,
happens
what
next?
happens to all these people? I mean, you're the stars. You got
all the big names from WWE.
who becomes number one?
You got
How does WWE rock the foundation of professional wrestling for everybody else? I mean, it's going to be a trickle down effect.
It would be,
if
but
WWE goes out of-
if they go out of business, I think it would help the other promotions, because then they're wide open. Someone could take that spot on USA.
Yeah, but who?
I mean, to me, the best one. I mean, they're owned by a broadcasting company, but Ring of Honor, I don't think they would be stupid enough to say, "Hey, USA's there. Why not try to take it?" You know, because being owned by a broadcast company, of course, Sinclair's going to want them on their Sinclair broadcasting stations. But you would be really stupid.
But would USA? Maybe USA says
They don't want wrestling anymore. Kind of like how TNT did.
yes. We don't have WWE. We don't want nothing. It's either
Right.
WWE or nothing.
Then it's going to be very, very different.
It would be very. I mean, John Cena. I don't think John Cena would go work for anybody else. I think John Cena would go
Just to
completely
Hollywood.
Be Hollywood
Yeah.
now. There's a few guys. There was probably one of the few guys. Was he retired? I mean, in other organizations like TNA, Ring of Honor, New Japan, New Japan, I think, could afford some of these contracts, some of these people, or make new contracts where people are used to living what they're using lifestyle now.
Right.
But some of the companies can't. Ring of Honor is a good company,
They can't afford those
but they
big
can't afford
contracts.
some of the big companies.
But you got to think about it. When WWE goes out of business, who has the upper hand in contract negotiations? The companies do, not the wrestlers,
That's
because
true.
they cannot use WWE as a bargaining chip.
Not
They
anymore.
can't say, "I could go here. You better give me this money." No, you got to take what you can get at that
That's
point.
true. And boy, we're talking about a landscape change.
It'd be totally different. What would happen is that fans, regular old fans, would learn. They would have to learn if they research wrestling and say, "Okay, WWE's gone." What do? We research and we find that there is more to wrestling than just WWE.
Oh yes.
And so that would help open things up. Okay, you didn't think about Global Force.
Global Force, yeah. That's true.
They don't have a ton of money, but I mean, Jarrett, I think he could get a few of those guys in there that would really, help him out a lot. And a lot of those guys, I mean, of course, some of them would be taken back in open arms. Like if New Japan didn't want AJ back, TNA would take AJ back.
Yeah.
New Japan would take Nakamura back in a heartbeat.
Daniel Bryan probably go to Japan.
Right.
Or Ring of Honor.
Ring of Honor would
there's a
take
lot of
Sami
people-
Zayn back, would
Seth
take Kevin Owens, Seth Rollins, exactly.
Cesaro could go.
And there's a lot of writers out of business.
There's a lot of writers out of business.
I mean, you got to think people in the
and announcers.
announcers, yes.
And office workers, and
It's not just the wrestlers. You think about just the wrestlers, but I mean, you got Road Dogg who's on the creative team. You've got Dewey Foley on the creative team. You've got Jimmy Jacobs from Ring of Honor on the creative team now. Just those that are just wrestling related people, not including, well, you got Ranjin Singh.
and would
But those guys could possibly get spots at other places.
they could.
And that could elevate.
And then you got the video library. I mean, this is so
Somebody
much.
going to want to buy that.
Or buy parts and pieces, and but I just thought about that.
And
what
that
happened?
what would happen with WWE Network? Would a company buy it out and call it something else?
That's true.
Would it be the TNA Network?
I ain't got that much money.
No. Would it be the Ring of Honor Network?
I look like Ring of Honor and New Japan would gain the most from something like this.
Heck, Tommy Dreamer, if he's got some collateral somewhere, maybe he can have House of Hardcore build itself up, and he could get some of those guys full-time type thing.
Oh, most definitely.
He's starting to run some more shows. It will be very interesting. The superstars would definitely not be at the advantage, though. The companies would be at the advantage because they could dictate the money.
And then some of them are like, hey, I save my money. I'm done. Randy Orton, I don't think Randy would go anywhere. I think Randy would be done.
And Cena, they would be done with it. I think Big Show, Mark Henry would be done with it.
Some of those guys that ain't done nothing would be. They'd go back to the independent scene probably if they want to stay with it, or
But like, talking about older guys, even like Goldust, he would probably just get a job maybe behind the scenes somewhere else.
Yeah.
Not even wrestle anymore. But I mean, there's a lot of different things. I mean, a lot of people will be out of business. Like a lot of the wrestlers that wouldn't get picked up, they may just go on to a different career path.
That is true.
It happened with WCW when a lot of these people didn't get picked up on new contracts. I know that there's a couple of them. Lash LaRue, I think he lives in Alabama now, but he is I believe he is a youth pastor at a church. I mean, people took on different career paths when WCW went out.
There's only so many companies out there to pick you up.
And there's only so many spots.
So many spots.
So
that's right.
Yeah, I mean that's very interesting.
You got New Japan, you can go to Mexico.
That's
you
true.
can
Lucha Underground.
You've got the Lucha Underground here. You've got the Global Force. You got TNA. You got Ring of Honor, Evolve. So I mean, there's places, but it would be a big effect to everybody if WWE went out of business.
It would. It would shake the wrestling world.
Oh, it would definitely shake.
And it would be front page news. I mean, all the daggum news stations would pick up on it, like entertainment news stations and stuff like that. I mean, Vince would never hurt, for anything. He's got so much money that he's not going to let the company drain him of money.
No.
He would let it go before he got drained of money. Or does WWE not go out of business, or maybe let's say WWE is lacking in business and they're really gone downhill, and let's say there's not much money coming in, and so Vince says, well, let's buy it and let's sell it out. Let's sell it to somebody else.
There has been talks of having partners come in. I mean, this is really true, having partners come in.
Yeah.
But
because I think people are afraid that Stephanie and Triple H can't handle it without Vince there. I don't agree. I mean, just off of how Triple H is running things and how Vince doesn't even have his finger on the pulse of NXT, and he's not really bothering Triple H about that, it shows right there that, somebody was even telling me that they're actually interested in NXT. They're emotionally invested because wins and losses actually matter in NXT, and that, there's not a lot of this constant talking and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, to me right there, it shows that Triple H is going to do things a little differently.
The Sami Zayn Joe match they had the other day.
Yeah.
Almost went the whole show. 1 hour. Almost went one whole hour.
Yeah.
One match.
Yeah, I read that. I was like, my gosh.
I know.
I was kind of shocked by that.
Well,
Because I was like, when I read the spoilers, I was like, wait a second. They're the only match. What?
You are drawn into NXT more than the other program. I mean, I've been a fan since WrestleMania 3. So I'm kind of like, I'm just burned in my system of watching pretty much everything, SmackDown and Raw, and
But let's say WWE goes out of business. Let's say that Triple H and Stephanie come together, since Vince let's say he's out of it.
Yes.
He's done. He's taking his money, he's going home, taking his ball and going home, if you will. And Triple H and Stephanie, let's say they own the rights to NXT and they just make their own company. Just call it NXT and there's no ties to WWE. It's just NXT.
That would be different.
It would be different, and then to me that would make it the number one company at that point.
Yeah, because I was going to say they may be down where the other ones are, but they're still going to be a head and shoulders above the rest.
Right.
By just being who you're connected to.
Yep.
But that's just a topic I was just thinking of, and it's something to think about. I mean,
it definitely is.
It would. People hate WWE, but it would truly shake the foundation. Everybody would feel something from WWE going out of business. Because there's companies Vince helps that no one knows about that would lose out on that money.
And even then, some of the wrestlers that get picked up by these other companies, that means there's got to be spots opened up on those rosters. So that means like TNA's and Ring of Honors and New Japan's, some people might get fired to open up the spots for those guys coming in from WWE.
That's
so
true.
they feel the effects of it by getting fired just to open up a spot for them people.
Yeah, they get knocked down.
Yeah.
I mean,
So-
it could be a big, humongous shake, okay? Well, we want this guy here, but we can't afford this guy. We have to get rid of these few people. Okay, these people leave TNA, and they're going to go to Ring of Honor. Okay, well, you pulled in the OWW guys into TNA, and these TNA guys are in Ring of Honor. Well, Ring of Honor take these two guys, well, they got to get rid of 2 or 3 guys to take the place. So these 2 or 3 guys go to Evolve, or go to Hardcore, House of Hardcore, or they go to New Japan. And it'd be amazing to see what would happen. I hate for it to happen,
Right.
and I don't think it's going to
I
happen.
don't think it would ever happen.
No, it went Hunter and
Especially
Stephanie.
not I don't think in my lifetime at least.
I think Hunter and Stephanie will make another boom in wrestling when
Right.
they take over, when Vince is totally out of it. I think it will. I mean, it's going to start peaking again. It always does.
Yep.
And you got to get the feel of the new guys in there, which we are. Get more Owens. I mean, just look at the past shows. You're thinking, okay, this guy is the new guy. He's in the match. He's in the match. He's in. You know.
Right.
Where's the older guys out? They're not aware of being found.
Exactly.
So, I that was just something we could just come up with for part 3 to talk about. And it garnered a lot of conversation. If you have any ideas or anything, what you think, you can put it right there in the comment section on our YouTube page.
That is true.
That's Facebook sucks. So
They do. We're working on that.
we're working on that, but right now it's still. Well, that's it for part 3. Unless you got anything else.
I have nothing.
Okay. Well, up next is the list.
That does not. Yes.
As we finish up our story time.
Oh, it's over with. We gotta come up with new stories.
We're going to close the book till we get new stories. We're going to finish up the 50 matches every WWE fan must see. We're going to do our new segment called Buy, Sell, and Hold. We're going to give a topic, and we're going to decide if you should buy it, sell it, or just put it on hold and see what happens.
I hear you.
And we're going to talk about the PWI Top 500. We're going to spotlight number 498
I was
this
gonna say, I
week.
have no clue who that is.
Exactly.
We're being
Indie
attacked.
Cats attack us there. And we're going to do the 10 shocking firing, Superstar WWE stars firing that no one saw coming, number 4 this week.
You'll definitely want to see who number 4 is.
You definitely will, brother.
Brother.
But that's it. So coming back to part 4 of the list that does not miss for Top Road Rowdy. We're going to spank the Indie Cat here, and we'll be right back.
Oh, no, I'm not spanking the cat.
Click over in a few clicks.
Oh, Lord. There, cat.
New Sean. Jeez, New
New
Sean!
We got a new shit.